Welcome to Otala, everybody. So Otala is the new region for Pokémon Heaven and Hell, and it is an island just located off the coast of Greece, which is why you can see lots of Greek architecture. So, this PowerPoint was made to basically give you an introduction to Pokémon Heaven and Hell, and also, go through the story and the areas you need to explore. So let's go. So first off, why are you here? You were swept up on the sprawling islands of Otala for no particular reason. You are being guided by a mysterious voice so that you can make your way around. The voice tells you to pick one of 3 starter Pokemon. And so the voice, depending on the version, will either be Zeus in Pokémon Heaven or Satan in Pokémon Hell, and it will talk to you through this little iPad looking thing, and it will have a symbol on the back. It will be silver for Zeus and red for Satan. This iPad's also where you can find the Pokédex, and it's also where you can store your items, which can then be summoned in through virtual technology that the gods made. So, your Pokemon starters are Vinyl, the grass bat Pokemon. That's meant to say bat, but it says rat. I don't know why. Blopzen, the bubble Pokemon. He's like a bubble with Mario eyes. And Fire-Oggy, the fire frog Pokemon. Speaks for itself, really. Now what? Now that you're ready, you must battle your way through different biomes to collect souls and access the legendary Pokemon of the region. Here are all of the biomes in the order of when you should encounter them. So, basically, you need to go through biomes and, there's several different ones. Just so you know, the souls change based on the version. They're yellow in Heaven to represent light, and they're red in Hell to represent darkness. And you need the respective colour to unlock the respective area. So let's go. The plateau is a sprawling open space full of Pokemon life. And the main types you'll find here are grass, poison, and ground. Although there are other types. The beach. A lonely beach sat at the foot of Mount Arceus. Now, this area is optional because it's actually the area you arrive at. And also there's no designated point because you need to unlock the mountain, which the beach is at the foot of. So really it's just an extra area where Pokemon can be found. And mainly you can find bone and water Pokemon. Next up is the ruins. A collection of ruined buildings, all of which being reminiscent of ancient Greek architecture. Probably because it is. Now the types you can mainly find here are ground, fighting, and yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, and also bone. Now there's area, this punctuation. This area is blocked off, but nobody quite knows why. It's because of the Pokemon you can find. You can find electric, ice, psychic, poison, dark, and ground here, although those are only the main ones. Then the temple. An ancient stronghold used to worship Arceus, the creator of the universe. So you can find Arceus here, but you can also find ground type Pokemon, water type, I think grass type, and you can also find some of the Pokemon which are like multi-types, kind of like some of the Pokemon. Like, you can find ones that can like swap between types. Like, I won't go into detail with them just now, but I'll save that for a future video. Just note that they're there. Then, the woods. You gotta be careful, because poison type Pokemon roam this place. Yeah, there is a lot of Pokemon poison types, but also grass and bug. Next, Mud Town. Riches can be found here if you tread carefully. Now, you can find grass types. You can find normal types. Mainly, you can also find the new atomic type. Mainly in one of the shops, although that'll be shown in a future video. Next is the Acid Factory. Experiments regarding Pokemon are done here. Enter at your own risk. You can find Ditto along with Atomic type and Poison type as the main ones. Gengar's Yard. A burial ground for dead Pokemon. It also has some of its own. Now, as I'm sure you can guess, you can find Gengar here, as well as its 2 pre-evolutions. You can also find mostly ghost types, and also bone types. Speaking of, is the Bone Lands. This bony mountain is the most uninhabitable part of Otala, sadly. Geez, why are there so many typos in this? Who made this? Honestly. So basically it's like a barren wasteland where a bunch of bone types will live. There's also ground, again, and also dark type. So yeah, it's quite a dangerous place. Then the Rocky Shore. A beach with the largest amount of Pokemon life that you can imagine. Now mostly you can find water type, but you can also find a few bone types, because, you know, shells. Then the last area, other than the 2 flagship areas, is Frostburn Peak. This seemingly harmless snowy mountain can turn into a volcano at any time. Now, basically, obviously this is home to fire and ice Pokemon, and yeah, it's just a pretty cool region, because it was inspired by the Geometry Dash level, Frostburn Peak, and it's one of my favourite levels, so obviously I wanted to try and include it, and I knew that on one of these, like, other areas, I definitely want to do that. Then the last one is Hell. Wade through the magma and rocks to reach the last soul. And you'll find the last soul here if you're playing on Pokémon Heaven. Note, if you're playing Pokémon Hell, you will tackle Mount Arceus and Hell in reverse order. Also, you can't go to Satan's throne room in Heaven or the gates to Heaven in Hell. So, Satan's throne room is where you find Hell's box legendary, and the gates to Heaven is where you find Heaven's box legendary. And you also tackle these places in reverse order and different versions. So you tackle Hell as the last region in Hell, and Mount Arceus is the last region in Heaven. Or area, sorry. Your next objective. Now that you've collected the souls, you can now access Mount Arceus. You must climb the mountain to reach Heaven. Mount Arceus. The mountain at the centre of Otala. You must climb it to reach Heaven. So then you can find lots of ice types, ground types, And also, I feel like adding flying types would be cool here, because, you know, just because of how much life these places have. Then finally, we have the clouds. This is the last area you go to. To reach heaven, you must traverse the clouds. But whatever you do, do not fall. Now, here you can find flying types, fairy types, electric types, and also this is a very unique area because it has like probably the most unique layout of any area, where you need to like cross different gaps to like get everywhere. So there's like lots of different like routes you can take, but they all lead to the same place, which is heaven. You have finally reached heaven. You now have one last task to complete. Battle and catch Lytaurus, the electric fairy type Pokemon that is also Zeus's assistant, and that's on heaven. Now, here's how Hell ends. If you are playing Pokemon Hell, you need to battle and catch Grimator, the fire ghost type Pokemon that is also Satan's assistant. And that is the end. So this is just a little overview. Once you actually get to playing the game, you'll actually get to like physically see what it's like. So yeah. Development is still going on, and we'll announce some new Pokemon in a later video. But yeah, currently have five Pokemon revealed, as well as some other ones like Ditto and stuff. So yeah, that'll tide you over until more info comes. Bye bye.